Hi fellow dog fanciers, welcome back to another video. You don't have to say it. I know I've been gone for too long and I hope you remember me and also my whippets. And I'm here today with Lacey and Brady, who are very nice to be willing to join me in today's video. I was gone for quite a while because I wanted to film outside, but the weather was miserable and I had a very busy schedule, and whenever I wanted to film, the weather was bad. So I decided I'm going to film a video that doesn't require me to be outside, and well, would you look at that? It's a beautiful weather outside. Today it's also the first time I'm wearing black in my videos, and it's most probably also going to be the last, because guess what? Light colored whippet hairs. Enough ranting for now. For today's video I decided that I'm going to go through the comment section and I'm going to answer some of your questions in my video today, because I'm not sure if you all read the comment section and what I reply there, but I'm quite certain that whenever someone asks a question, a good number of people would wonder about the same thing. And also, I cannot always give a very detailed answer or give a demonstration in the comment section. So for that reason, today I'm going to be answering some of your Whippet related and not Whippet related exactly questions. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you for continuing to support me even though I was absent for 2 weeks. Thank you for commenting, subscribing and liking my videos. Let's get started. The first question is, Whippets are lazy, but do they get crazy if they don't run enough in winter? The weather magically affects our whippets. For example, when it's warm and sunny, they sunbathe until overboiling, after which they look for a cool spot to continue relaxing. When it rains, they get sleepy, and when it's cold outside, they are still sleepy, but they prefer to look for a warm blanket to sleep under. The short answer is no, they don't get crazy, but they still need their exercise. The long answer is in winter, even though it's cold, they still like to run and play for a certain period of time before returning to their lazy schedule. So don't restrict them from playing and exercising. If you have to go for a walk and it's cold, just put a coat on them, have your usual walk, and if necessary, just make it a shorter one. And if you usually take them for a run somewhere, just do what you always do, but be prepared to go home whenever they show you they're ready. Here, when it's cold or even snowy, they like to go outside and play for around 10 to 15 minutes, after which they return with a very sad look on their face, like you locked them up outside on purpose. But I guess it's all a part of the lovely whippet drama. The next question is, will a whippet just jump into the lead if he sees a rabbit? I want to ride my bike along with a whippet, but I'm scared he would make me crash all of a sudden. Most probably yes. Ours will jump if they see a rabbit, which basically never happens here, but my family used to visit me when I was in the Netherlands every single summer with our 5 at the time whippets, and we used to walk them on a very large field where in the evening there was a bunch of wild rabbits, and the interesting thing was that the girls were going crazy but the boys acted like they didn't even notice. If you ride your bike with your whippet running along and you're going through an area where you know there are wild rabbits or rabbits in general, just slow down or jump off the bike and walk through that area to avoid an accident. Most whippets will react to a small animal when it's moving, and if they see a rabbit just standing there, they will definitely first notice it, and this will give you a chance to have the time and the possibility to react accordingly. Mind you, I say most whippets and not all whippets. They're all individuals and they will act differently. Have you had any other breeds with your whippets? Yes, I have mentioned it in another video of mine, but I don't mind mentioning it again. We had our golden retriever Brightly and our Newfoundland Chelso together with our first whippet Daira, later on with Lacey, and a bit later after that with Bailey, Cooper and Brady as well. So we've had two other breeds together with 5 whippets. It was all great, they loved each other's company, they loved to play, and we've never had an issue. Can you tell me more about the bond affection between Whippet, especially female, and the owner? Let's first talk about the bond between the owner and the Whippet in general before getting into genders. Whippets are not working dogs, as I have said before, so if you've had any type of working breed and you're getting a Whippet or planning on getting a Whippet, never expect from your Whippet that same willingness to work. It's not going to happen. If you happen to get a whippet that apparently turns out to love to work, that's a bonus and a very rare one. Whippets will mostly follow you everywhere because they want to share what you're doing with them, and they also want lots of cuddles and love. Male whippets only want you to love them, and also that's it. Females demand a blanket, but not this blanket, the one that is fluffier, the pink one with the flowers, please. They want food at different weird times of the day, but no, this bowl is too full and that bowl is not full enough. And do you remember 1 month ago you gave them a piece of cheese? Well, why isn't their bowl full of the same type of cheese right now? If they want attention, they want it immediately. And if they don't want your attention, then what are you doing there, invading their personal space and ruining their comfort? Who even hired you as an employee in the Whippet realm? No, seriously, females are needy, but they're so much fun at the same time. But let's not forget that all dogs have their own personality, and you might end up with a very needy boy and a happy-go-lucky girl. But whippets are definitely not like cats because they give you all the unconditional love in the world 24/7 just without having to work. Next question is, how often do whippets need a bath? Barely ever. With all the whippets that I have raised, owned, worked with, and randomly met, I have never seen a stinky one. We bathe them if they get muddy or dirty. We also mostly give them a bath before a show. And in general, if you feel like your whippet is dirty or they feel dusty, just wash them. It's perfectly fine as long as you don't overdo it. Do you prefer a harness or a martingale collar for a puppy? A collar all the way. I'm not a fan of harnesses. First of all, I feel like you don't have enough control, and second of all, I just don't find it aesthetically pleasing on a very elegant and delicate dog as the Sighthound. My dogs never pull on the lead, so just because they wear a collar, it doesn't mean that they wear it because I need to pull them on it or to make corrections with it. Martingale collars are great for puppies, and we get ours started with these. And as you can see, we have a lot of these, and the one that I'm showing you right now has barely ever been worn, so it hasn't even taken shape, but this is just for demonstration purposes. But we prefer these now because once Ruby squeezed out of her martingale collar and she was chased by a Saluki and a Labrador, and she almost flew out in the middle of a boulevard. These are very easy to put on and take off, and just because they're officially called chokers, it doesn't mean that you use them to choke your dog or that your dog chokes while wearing one of them. Almost every dog accessory can become a tool for cruelty if used incorrectly. So please stick to what works best for you and your dog as long as you use it smartly and with care. Next question. Our fence is only 4 feet. I know the recommendation is 5 to 6 feet. Any advice? Whippets can jump very high, but some don't even know that they can. We use these gates to restrict our whippets from entering a particular room. For example, if Lacey is eating in there and it's not a very tall gate, they can jump it without any issue, but they don't because they don't know they have this possibility. We have a very high trampoline and some of ours use it to jump on it and lay in the sun. However, others don't even know they can go up there because they have never jumped that high. So, in my opinion, a lower fence is not a deal breaker, especially if your whippet is still a puppy. Just keep an eye on them because if they see something that is very exciting on the other side, they're capable of doing anything to get there. And if they start attempting to jump or even successfully jump over that fence, maybe it's time for you to think of an upgrade or an alternative so that you can secure the place. The next question is, where do I get my cave beds from? Or rather, our whippets are very lucky because my mom has golden hands and heart and loves to spoil them, so she makes everything for them: beds, cave beds, collars, leads, and perhaps something else that I can't think of right now. Being in Eastern Europe, products targeted at sighthounds are almost non existent. But if you're located in other parts of the world, chances are that somewhere nearby where you're at, there is a place where you can get nice and affordable cave beds for your whippets. Off to the next question we go, and it is, do you think whippets are a suitable breed for agility? Absolutely. I know many whippets that love it, including one of mine. His name is Star and lives in the UK and is very excited about agility and has had some lovely achievements together with his loving owner. In fact, I think that our Ruby would be great at it too because she is very sporty, very smart, and busy all the time, and she is very attached to my mom, so I always feel like this would make a great team, but we have yet to try it. Of course, it might be a trial and error, and you will never know if your whippet would love agility unless you try it. And even though they're not working dogs, they're very athletic, sporty, and agile. And if the agility training is introduced in the form of a fun game that is exciting, I think that would make a whippet love it even better. How do your whippets handle thunderstorms? In general, all of our 7 whippets handle thunderstorms and fireworks pretty well, except for Skylar. She really hates both of these things, and we have tried everything, including thunder shirts, and they don't work with her. We live in a fancy neighborhood, I should say, and every single evening some fancy people think that they have something to celebrate. So every single evening there are fireworks. So what I do is create positive chaos. I grab a toy and make them all play, and because we have a fairly big pack, when one gets excited, they all do, kind of like a chain reaction. Or I open a package of treats that they haven't had in a long time and I start feeding them. Of course, I don't just feed them treats, I ask them to do something for a treat because that's how they engage mentally in the exercise and it helps them even better to forget about the fireworks or the thunder. So, if you haven't tried these two methods just yet, you can do so and maybe it will help your dog associate fireworks or thunder with something that is a little bit more pleasant and exciting. What is your hound's regime and are they good off lead? On a daily basis, they are free to go in the garden whenever they want, and they do it very often. They like to run and play. But of course, that is not enough, so we go to the park a lot where they have the chance to socialize with a bunch of dogs and people. But their favorite thing ever is to go up the mountain. When the weather is good, we go every weekend because we live in the outskirts of a mountain and it's a 5-minute drive to where the walking routes start. It's beautiful, exciting, and there is a lot of climbing involved. So it really is one of the best exercises and we usually walk minimum 10 kilometers and when we're back home all they want to do is sleep. Of course, from all the walks in the mountain that we've had, I never filmed a single one, but I will do so in the future so that I can show you. We live in a bit of a pet unfriendly country in the sense that no one thinks of the dogs and their owners. And there are almost no suitable places for dogs, let alone for fast dogs, such as the hounds are, to give them the opportunity to run and play safely. So our parks are always close to major roads and we almost never let them off the lead. So that was it for today's video. I hope it was useful and helpful to all of you who wondered about these things. Don't forget that you can always ask questions in the comment section, whatever questions you like, regardless if they are about whippets, dogs, me, as long as they're appropriate, of course. And to all of you who are writing a comment requesting a specific video, don't worry, I see the comments, I hear you, and I'm planning on making these videos and fulfilling your requests. So I wish you a fantastic weekend and a wonderful week after that, as always, and I will do my best to see you next Friday with a new video. Bye bye!